world and what he's gone through. But what an unbelievable individual Mark is. I'm just starting to get to know him really well, but the stuff he says is from his heart, and you can see that. And that's why he's a true leader in ACN. And let's give it back to Rob. I hope you know that, because you've got an unbelievable leader, and the training that you guys get every weekend, I wish we had in every other market that I'm building. So today, they asked me to train on a few subjects I love to train on, because what I'm going to talk about is team building. And I've been involved with teams pretty well my whole life, growing up in Sudbury, Ontario, doing different teams, in volleyball and basketball and soccer and football and so forth. But it all comes down to basically the same thing. You've got to, as yourself, give more to the team than basically you give to yourself. Think about it. You're building an organization here that needs you, right? More people out there that the businesses don't work because they're thinking about themselves. Your team will grow more and more and faster if you start thinking about putting paychecks in your teammates' pockets rather than your own. Once you do that, your pockets will also grow more and more. So what I'm going to do here right now is talk a little bit about the mindset, but we're going to play a short video that I saw about a year and a half ago that really, well, first of all, it's funny, but also it shows you how you guys can start your business by doing something out of the ordinary. And then we're going to come back and I'll explain more about how you guys should build your team and what you should look for in individuals.
If you learn about leadership and making a movement, and let's watch a movement happen, start to finish in under 3 minutes, and dissect some lessons. First, of course, a leader needs the guts to stand alone and look ridiculous. But what he's doing is very simple. It's almost instructional. This is key. You must be easy to follow. Now here comes the first follower with a crucial role. He publicly shows everyone else how to follow. Notice how the leader embraces him as an equal. So it's not about the leader anymore. It's about them, plural. Notice how he's calling to his friends to join in. He's expected to be the first follower, to stand out with great ridicule of himself. Being a first follower is an underappreciated form of leadership. The first follower transforms a lone nut into a leader. The leader is the flint. The first follower is the spark that really makes the fire. Now here's the second follower. This is a turning point. It's proof the first has done well. Now it's not a lone nut, and it's not two nuts. Tree is a crowd, and a crowd is news. A movement must be public. Make sure outsiders see more than just the leader. Everyone needs to see the followers, because new followers emulate the followers, not the leader. Now here come 2 more people and 3 more immediately. Now we've got momentum. This is the tipping point, and now if they were on the fence before, there's no reason not to join in now. They won't stand out, they won't be ridiculed, and they will be part of the in crowd if they hurry. Remember the next minute you see the rest and prefer to stay part of the crowd, because eventually they'd be ridiculed for not joining. And ladies and gentlemen, that is how a movement is made. So let's recap what we've learned. If you are a version of the shirtless dancing guy, all alone, remember the importance of nurturing your first few followers as equals, making everything clearly about the movement, not you. Be public, be easy to follow. But the biggest lesson here, did you catch it? Leadership is so glorified. Yes, it started with the shirtless guy, and he'll get all the credit. It was the first follower that transformed a lone nut into a leader. There's no movement without the first follower. See, we're told that we all need to be leaders. That would be really ineffective. The best way to make a movement, if you really care, is to courageously follow and show others how to follow. When you find a lone nut doing something great, have the guts to be the first person to stand up and show it.
wonders out there. Right? Because you got to do some things that your friends might think are crazy. Right? A lot of my friends, when I started with ACN, go, why do you do ACN? Right? Because it's great. I'm excited. I'm doing something that can help a lot of people. And some of them didn't get involved right away. But now that I've been involved for 2.5 years, those friends that I mentioned this 2 years ago, they're coming back to me and saying, you're still doing ACN, there's got to be something that's adding to you. You see that wave of people coming down the hill? That's what's happening in our organization now. Because some old nut named Brian Savage stood out there dancing around naked, or maybe not naked, and people started to follow. And then they started to follow their friends, and started to follow their friends, and so forth. And that's how the ACN business, if you relate to it, that's how it happens. So you got to go out there and be a little different sometimes. Does that make sense? All right. Let's see what we can do here with some slides. So the key to success is to follow the ACN system. We learned the ACN system today, right? We're going to meet people. We are going to invite them to a presentation. We're going to present the business, and then training, and we're going to bring them here. But as a new IBO in the business, all you have to do is teach the person and get somebody to present to them. That's all you have to do. So here's how we can do some peeking ideas. Here's what I say to my new people. Can you ask somebody if they'd like to make some extra money? Yes or no? Yes. Well, okay, you got to jump in my car and you got to come to some training. Well, what's it about? The deregulation of energy. Have you heard about it? How we can benefit from it. Does that sound easy enough? The best training I got for inviting people and not worrying about what they say was from a good friend of mine now named Nathan Goldberg. Everybody know Nathan? Nathan was a waiter in Montreal when I played for the Montreal Canadiens, and they actually waited on myself and a few of the other players at that time. So it was an interesting story when he was doing his training. ACN is just like waitering. So when he went to a table, he'd go up to the people and say, hey, would you like a coffee, Paul? No? Yes? Okay, great. Here's your coffee. Laura, would you like some coffee? Yes. Would you like some coffee? Would you like some coffee? Would you like some coffee? You don't want any coffee. You don't like my Colombian fresh brewed coffee? Alright? She wants milk. Would you like some coffee? 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 Alright? Same thing with ACN. Would you like to make some money? Would you like to make some money? No money? You're rich enough? You got everything? Time and money? Good. Alright? So, be a waiter. Does that make sense? Not everybody likes coffee. Alright? Get over it. Alright? It's not personal. They just don't want ACN. Right now, you may want to go a little while later when they see your paychecks. Right? But they don't want coffee. The 3 types of presentations that we do are personal, one-on-ones. We can do these anytime. We can do them in my coffee shop. We can do them over the phone, etc. Then we have in-home presentations. Great way to build your business. My first home meeting was December 20th. I had 18 people at my house. From there, 6 of them got involved. The next one I had, 40 people were there, and then your team closed up from there. So home meetings are the fastest way to build your business. And then we have group trainings, which are today. So, how many people do we have here today? 2,000? Somewhere around there, right? How many new people did we have today? Congratulations. When you bring them to an environment like this, do you think they believe that ACN is real? They see thousands of people doing ACN in Toronto. Do you think it's real? Yes. ACN is real. And for the new people, you guys are going into an environment here that is set up for success. Super. I'm going to just go through some different stuff here because we don't have much time. And I want to get to some good stuff. Determining the reason why. Because I think this is the most important thing in your ACN business. Your why has to be powerful. It has to make you take action. Your why. So last weekend you guys heard my why. I'll say it again because I love saying it every time I present. The reason I do this business, first of all, makes sense. Does it make sense to everybody else? Great. My brother, 5 years ago, passed away of esophageal cancer, and he left 2 kids behind. I told him I'd take care of them, and I definitely will with my ACN business. His oldest son is 17, will be turning 18 in September. Guess what business he'll be getting into right away? I've got 3 boys of my own. This is a willable business, so what a great way to start something now, and we're all going to pass away at some time, but I'm going to leave this to my kids because they're going to get residual income from something I started years and years and years ago. There's my brother Mike. There's my sister Cheryl, who's 36 years old in Sudbury, Ontario, with her 5 kids. There's my brother Dave and his family in California. There's my brother-in-law Shrek. And there's my buddy. We go fishing 2 weeks out of the year, every year. Why can we only go fishing for 2 weeks? Because they have jobs. Well, they're all in the ACN business, and at some time, we're going to be able to go fishing whenever we want. So how are we going to build our organization and keep it growing and keep it growing and keep it growing and keep it growing? Well, you need to come to events. And I understood this right off the start. When I got started in December, Tracy Ronick and Jeremy Ronick are the ones that brought me into the ACN business. They told me I had to do things, and I had to have some meetings, but I also had to attend trainings on Saturdays. So one of my trainings was right after that, and I walked in, and Tracy's eyes just opened up, and she goes, "Oh my God, you're here." And I said, "Well, you told me to be here." Right? I was coachable. So when I came to that training, which was 5 days into my ACN business, what happened was my belief rose. How many people here today, after hearing the unbelievable training, you believe in your ACN business just a little bit more? That energy here in the room today. And that's what's going to propel you. Your belief is going to rise and rise. Your teammates' belief is going to rise in the ACN business. And with that, they're going to have more energy. And with more energy, what they're going to do is going to create action. How many people are going to go out after this session and say, "Holy cow, I just heard some amazing stuff, and I need to share it with you"? That's exactly what you're going to say. And you're going to get people to come into this environment, and they're going to believe, and they're going to go out. And that's where the momentum starts. And once you take action, you're going to see results. And then those results are going to give you more belief. And you see the cycle. So where did it all start? It all started at coming to an event. It all started at coming to a Saturday event for me. And then the next thing was a regional event, where it was even bigger. There were 3,000 people. You go to 12 consecutive international conventions and bring more people than you did to the last one, you will become the regional vice president in ACN. And my story to get to my first international was Tracy Ronick and Jeremy got me involved with the ACN opportunity. And in my first 40 days or something. I had 50 people in the business, and they told me, well, have you signed up for the international? And I said, no, why would I have to do that? I'm killing this thing. But then I reflected later on that evening and said, Tracy and Jeremy Roenick have never led me wrong yet in my ACN business. And they told me I have to go to an international training event in San Jose, California. I better get my butt on the Southwest flight on Thursday night. So I did so. And I brought a couple friends. And what had happened at that international event was, first of all, my belief of seeing 20,000 people involved in an opportunity that I just got started in, said, wow. And this has been around for 17 years already, and I haven't heard of it. I can't wait to get home and share a few more. But I also was doing a lot of things wrong. I never passed out a magazine or a DVD and all kinds of other stuff. And what I did was I bought 50 magazines and DVDs. I brought them home, shared them with everybody that week. 12 people joined my organization. A month later, I was a team coordinator in 89 days. So it's just consistently attending these events. This thing is just about copying the person that has been successful before and following the leaders here. Everybody in this room can be up on this stage. As Mark said, right, the products are all the same for us. The company is all the same for us. The compensation plan is the same for everybody. I started as a QTT, I went to ETT, ETL, QT, regional director, right? The only difference in this room is you. So who do you think you have to build up? Yourself. You have to work on yourself. You have to read books. I've never read so many books in my last 2.5 years of my life. I always tell people I wish we had the personal growth model in the starting years in your NHL. Because my first couple of years in NHL, I could have used this stuff so much. Can you imagine 20,000 people telling you you're terrible? You are brutal. People in the newspapers say you should be in the minors. Not even in the minors, you should be playing hockey. Right? But if I would have had the stuff that I've learned over the last 2 years, going to international events, going to all these training events, man, my game would have been so much better than it was. I was very privileged to have athletic ability, but I didn't have everything up here. And if I had that up here, I would have been Wayne Gretzky, but I would have been a lot better. So just when you're going home tonight or going home today, start picking up that phone. Our main goal is to get you to this ETT position that we talked about. That's all we want our new people to get to, ASAP, so you can start making money and believing in ACN. Right? That first check. Remember, everybody that's been in the business, remember getting that first check from ACN. Sometimes we forget. But that first check was the belief check. I got my first check and it was $99 or something like that. I said, there is a company called ACN. So get that belief check into your friends and into your partner's wallet, and your business will start building. Guys, it's an unbelievable business. I'm so excited to be in the Toronto market now. I'm looking forward to sharing my experiences with you at future training. I'm going to help a lot of people here with their home meetings. We have one this afternoon, tomorrow. But guys, go out there and build what you can build. This business is going to grow with or without you. You guys might as well jump in and ride this wave. So have a great afternoon, guys.